Happy Homebrew Wednesday, folks. I'm here with my buddy Corey.
Lou.
And we're finally tasting some beer. Very important beer. A beer that was brewed a long time ago. Oh, what? Last fall? Last winter?
Sometime last fall.
We'll say October. we didn't brew them at the same time. But it's the Chinook Porter Challenge! Unfortunately, I brought a bottle over that was not completely filled, so it may have a little oxidation, not sure. Hopefully it'll be fine. In the past it's going to be okay, so hopefully it's alright this time. So, should we go with yours first?
Sure, if you'd like to. It's on your left.
So you have more carbonation than I do, I think. I mean,
yeah.
Just look, more head at least. So what all went into this? If you could remember.
If I pulled up Beersmith, I could remember it.
You should buy that $8 app for your pull it up.
But I bought the $20 app for my laptop. So base of 2 row, had some chocolate malt in there, a little bit of Crystal 60 maybe, and then was it honey malt?
You did the wrong one. That's all I remember.
Okay.
I can't remember which
I might have
one.
done biscuit then.
It was definitely one. Oh, I do have the Challenge Porter in here. At least mine.
Let me grab my laptop real quick.
So the challenge was to use 1 ounce of Chinook in a porter. Now we had to add some other grain requirement, but one of us forgot which one it was, and we've been talking about 2 different grains, and either I forgot, one of us is wrong. I'm not sure what.
No, it was me.
So that requirement has been removed from the challenge.
Yep, I brewed this October 4th, it looks like. Okay.
Wow, has it really been that long?
It's
That means
really,
I probably did it in September.
It's really been that long. It's
Wow.
been a while.
There wasn't even snow on the ground yet, was there?
No. Seasons have changed, moons have passed, and the Chinook Porter has stood the test of time, maybe. We'll see.
Mine hasn't changed all that much.
Mine's been
Also
relatively
to
stable.
referee the tasting, we have the cat. Make sure there's no funny business. He's sniffing out trouble.
I'm gonna watch out. He'll probably try and grab some of your beer.
He's also an alcoholic. No.
He's not an alcoholic, he's just a connoisseur of the finer beverages in life. So I have mine in front of me. I used 2 row for the base malt, some chocolate malt, about a pound of that, some Crystal 60. I used biscuit malt, whereas I think he used honey malt.
Right.
But then I decided to go with some golden naked oats to help out with the mouthfeel a little bit, give it a little bit of a silkier texture. And then of course the Chinook. I first wort hopped with mine. I'm not really sure. Which one did you do? Did you just do split between 60 and then like a 15-minute edition, or?
I did split it. I think I did about 60 and 30. Yeah. That's kind of rough. I don't think Chinook, in my opinion, is a very good flavoring hop. At least not in this beer.
Yeah.
But first wort hopping was not something that had occurred to me. I didn't even know really that it existed at the time.
Chinook can be kind of divisive. I'd say that I'm a fan of it, but it's definitely not for everyone.
Yeah. Well, the beer I just racked today had Chinook in it. And it was dry hop with more Chinook. So that is, Chinook is good in certain ways.
It works well.
Alright, so let's try yours first here.
Okay.
That's kind of sweet smell that I expect from a porter.
Mm-hmm. The aroma on this has definitely faded over the last couple months.
Yeah. Well, I guess I can't say I didn't have it before now.
Right. No, it had a nice kind of a earthy, spicy note to it in the aroma.
A lot of carbonation.
Yeah, this one came out a little bit overcarbonated. This is when I switched over from carbonating by volume using measuring cups to actually weighing out my priming sugar.
Mm.
In the cutover over there, this came out a little bit too high, and it was a solid beer overall, but the carbonation definitely killed it. A porter, I like to have a little bit lower carbonation, and kind of detracts from the body a little bit having that higher carbonation to it.
Overall, it's a pretty decent beer, though.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it was definitely a good beer for the winter. It made its way through. Okay.
Let's go on to this possible disaster. Who knows what this is going to be like now?
What yeast did you use for this?
I used, I want to say SO4, but it may not have been. No, I used Irish ale yeast. This is one where it was stalled fermentation. It was about 3 days before it even started doing anything.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that estery note that you would get from the Irish ale yeast. It's almost kind of fruity.
Yeah, I'm kind of smelling that in the aroma.
I'm getting a lot of fruits in there.
Yeah.
Kind of the, I can definitely get the honey sweetness as well. Just that right there on the back of the tongue.
And there's a little bit of that resiny, I don't want to say minty, it's not really the right word, but resiny flavor from the Chinook right being in the middle. I guess I didn't really say what the rest of my recipe was. I did partial, you did all green, right?
I did all green, yep.
And this was a mini mash. I had 2.5 pounds of 2-row, 8 ounces of Crystal 120, 8 ounces of chocolate malt, 4 ounces of honey malt, a can of Maris Otter liquid malt extract.
So use Maris Otter as the base. Nice.
And 1 pound of amber dry extract. And then half ounce of Chinook at 60, half ounce of Chinook at 30, East Kent Goldings at 15, and Fuggle at 5. And then the Irish ale yeast of, I used 1084.
So, with the exception of the yeast, you really went for more of an English style porter, whereas I was kind of shooting more for the American robust porter.
Exactly.
Which, with the Chinook, I believe its progenitor was Goldings, so mixing that with the Fuggle and the EKG did pretty well. At this point, the aroma's faded just because the beers are getting to that point in life, but this has held up well.
It's actually better than the last time I had it. But I'm pretty hard on myself too, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of character from that Irish ale yeast. Whereas I used boring old US-05, so it's solid, but
Nothing wrong with that. US-05 is pretty handy.
Yeah, I really like a nice amount of yeast character though.
It does help.
US-05, it produces solid beer, just gets out of the way, lets you accentuate the hops a little bit, but I almost like to try this, modify the recipe a little bit and do it as a Belgian style. Use like the Westmalle strain.
That'd be interesting. I can't say that I have one I like more than the other, honestly. They're very different beers for being very similar.
It is complete apples and oranges at this point.
Yeah.
You know, the base malt using Maris Otter, completely different yeast. I think the only thing we really had in common was the Chinook, and we did both use chocolate malts. Which
we went pretty different routes on what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and I'm getting a bit more of a chocolatey, almost toffee note from the one that I brewed, whereas yours is, it's It's very fruity, and you get kind of almost the breadiness from the Maris Otter. But
Yeah. It definitely has the fruitiness to it. I don't even know how I hadn't realized that before now. But I think because I had yours to compare with, it really made it stand out more.
Yeah. Well, comparing very, very clean yeast strain, I think I kept it down in the lower 60s throughout fermentation, so really suppressed any esters.
September, probably was still above 70 in my apartment, so.
Yeah. I think the basement was starting to get into the low 60s ambient, maybe even upper 50s. We had a colder October, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that sounds right. I do a lot of my beers above 70, and so I'm kind of going for the fruitiness by accident. But most of the beers come out all right.
Great for Belgians.
Which is why I did one recently. So.
Be excited to taste that.
Oh, it's a great beer. A couple weeks, it'll be ready to taste.
We should do that.
And that taste changes like every week, so.
The Belgian IPA. Yeah, I remember, I think I had it back-to-back weeks the last time you brewed it. That was last summer sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Quite a bit of a difference. That was interesting. What are the hops on that one?
I want to say there's Chinook in it. Chinook, I think I want to say flame out and dry hopped. Magnum at 60, and I think there's some cut in there somewhere. Maybe at 15.
Gotcha.
I'd have to look it up, but for sure. But
Nice.
yeah, it's a pretty solid beer. So
Yeah.
if you're with higher temperatures, that'd be a good one to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it's fair to say we're both winners today. Yes.
These beers held up for as long as they did.
That's amazing. That didn't get terrible. So keep drinking and brewing good beer, folks. Cheers.
Cheers.
See you next time.